And this is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome in to Outside of the Friendly Confines. It's an F Day Rant Wednesday edition of Coach and Company. As you can see, we are back on the road. PGA Tour is a call-in this week. The Memorial, I'll be on the call on ESPN Plus, a very special bet stream provided by ESPN Bet. More on that coming up throughout the day, throughout the hour. Now, today's a very, very special day. Before we get to anything, though, it was kind of a kiss your sister kind of day yesterday. 3-4 in our best bets. Not great, not horrible, losing some juice. It is what it is. However, thank you to Deemer Box. We do have a big giveaway going on right now. I encourage you. You can sign up during the show at our YouTube page. Producer Man's got it all taken care of. We want you to win a BTT Studios branded Deemer Box. There you see it on the screen right there. We want you to enter. It's going to go for probably another week and a half, and then some lucky person is going to win it. I thought about keeping it for myself, but I said, you know what? This is about all of you. Now, I want you also to remember that no matter what you're doing, no matter where you're doing it, don't let anybody tell you that it can't be done. Because 8 months ago, we launched a little show called the Coach and Bro Show. It was YouTube only. But as I knew, you can't rely just on YouTube in this space. So today, very special day, because at 5 p.m. Eastern time today, we launch on Stadium for the very first time. That's right. And everywhere you find Stadium, Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV, Roku TV, the list goes on and on. It will then replay Thursday night at midnight Eastern time as well. Then next Wednesday, we will slide into our normal time slot of 11 p.m. Eastern time, the Coach and Bro Show. Thanks to all of you for making this happen, because without all of you watching every single week, there's no way the Stadium executives, who are amazing, would allow this to happen. Now, over the course of the next 60 minutes, we're talking Terry Bradshaw. What? The former Steelers blasting his old team. Why? We're going to tell you. Also, coming up at the bottom of the hour in about 30 minutes or so, we're talking Game 5. Can the Oklahoma City Thunder get it done and head to the NBA Finals against either the Knicks or the Pacers? Then, of course, in about 15 minutes, it's our favorite day of the week. We pay respects to our fallen comrade, the great Howie Schwab, in our favorite segment of the week. It is Rant Wednesday on NF Day. But we've had 2 subpar days in a row, which means it's time to get focused. It's time to look right into the camera. You hear that? Oh, the company is ready to come in. They are fired up. The chat is already popping. So it's time to beat the books. All right, now look who I have today. An absolute embarrassment of riches. We've got Raphael. We've got Big Tommy C. We got my man C. Oh no. So, gentlemen, as we're getting ready to start the show, guess who just ruined my flow, Seabass? I feel like it's a you problem.
I don't know who ruined your flow. It wasn't me. I'm just here.
No, it's kind of like what we like to call your little brother, because even though we had a subpar day at the show, my man, young Peyton, he did work against Soupy. And apparently last night he was on location with his father, and this just came through. Producer man, if you don't mind, can you roll tape, please?
So here's Anderson with a runner on, 2 down here in the 6th. The pitch to LeMahieu. It's skied to right field. Adele is under it, and he'll put it away. And that will be 6 complete innings for Tyler Anderson tonight at Angel Stadium.
Hey, Soupy, 6 complete innings. That's 18 pitching outs. Because it's 6 times 3, which is 18. So that means I won and you lost. Again. Good prize fight. See you next week.
He's now, Seabass, taking it to a whole nother level. He's going to Angel Stadium. Your reaction to that, please, Seabass?
That's great. I was actually texting with him yesterday while he was at the game. I was giving a little ribbing because he was talking about how great the Angels were. And I was like, "There's nobody even at the field. What are you talking about? Where's all the fans?" It was batting practice. So
That's hilarious.
Oh,
By
there
the
was
way,
18, my bad.
he had Tyler Anderson over 17 and a half outs. So, Tommy, that was the 18th out that you saw in the video right there. I don't know if Soupy is just taking it at this point, but Tommy, good morning to you. I don't know what else we can do for Soupy. I really don't.
Wow, Soupy needs a lot of help because Peyton is just the babyface assassin coach. He's just bam, 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 bam. He's hitting them big time, boy. Soupy, you got to regroup, brother.
Yeah, he does. He'll be back on Friday. But here's the crazy thing, guys. Because I'm doing golf on Friday, guess who's hosting the show with Soupy on the show on Friday? Young Peyton.
Hey,
I mean, you can't make it up. You can't make it up. Now, real quick, Raphael, you're my numbers guy. Last night, the Pacers take a 3-1 series lead. We'll talk more about it in about 30 minutes or so. But are you surprised, real quick, a little early take, that the Knicks are giving 4.5 in a pivotal win or go home game?
A little bit. I think the Pacers, close it out. They play better on the road. I mean, their bench players are doing better on the road. So I was a little bit surprised on the number, but let's wait to see what 24 hours does to that number.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. Last night, by the way, Halliburton, in a pretty good mood. His dad was back in the building, and then apparently his WWE dad, Tommy, Triple H, and Nick Khan in the building last night as well. We'll talk about that coming up in the break. We got to get to our you can't make it up. You can't make it up. All right, Seabass, I want you to start us off really, really strong. Monday subpar, Tuesday subpar. Today we cannot allow that to happen. Let's go. Best bets time.
Best bets. Yeah, we're going to start in the WNBA tonight. We're going to take the Indiana Fever second half team total over 40.5 points, minus 115. They've done this in 8 of their last 10 games, 5 of 5. It's gone over, and 7 of 8 versus the Mystics. The Mystics themselves have given up this total in 3 of their last 5 games, so I like the Fever a lot in the second half. Then we're going to head over to Major League Baseball. We've got Detroit and San Francisco. We're going to take Detroit on the first 3 innings money line, also minus 115. At home, Detroit is 20-8. They got Jackson Jobe on the mound today. He's got a 2.61 ERA going up against Landon Roop and the Giants. Roop's ERA is about double that. In Detroit at home, they're number 8 in runs scored at home, and San Francisco on the road is just not very good. So give me Detroit first 3 money line, minus 115.
I really love how you have educated us through the start of the season on the first 3 and how popular not only they are, but how smart they can be if you got really, really good starting pitching at the top of the lineup. So thank you very much. Good start for year 2. Raphael, big boy, coming right over to you. Where are you headed today?
Going to the NBA first. We're going to take the Minnesota Timberwolves team total under. That's right, under 106.5, laying a minus 120. Games 1, games 2. They weren't even close to this total. 88 points in game 1 and 103 points in game 2. Thunder closed this one out, but not on their offense. On defense tonight, Thunder closes this game easily. Double-digit win tonight for the Thunder. And in baseball, give me the Reds, Royals, both teams to score 3+ runs at plus 105. The Reds have scored 14 runs in 2 innings, and their bullpen that the Royals have been using game after game is gassed out. I see the Royals scoring some runs. They've hit this total in 3 out of their last 6 games, but both teams are going to put up high points. I think this game goes over, and I think both of them score 3+ runs. Give me the plus money.
All right, those are 4 check marks that we're going to have right now. Now, my man Big Chuck always doing work for the team, even when he's not on the show. He's got one play from the pitch. And late in the season, Chelsea has been playing really good soccer. And today, against Betis, it's a special Europa League. That's kind of how we end the soccer season. And with that momentum at minus 140 BTTS, that's our favorite bet. Both teams to score. All they got to do, 1-1, that cashes the ticket. And Big Chuck has been all over it lately. So I encourage you, put it in right now. Don't wait. Don't overthink it. All right. So now Raphael has gone. Seabass is gone, but I'm going to play today. I'm going to pick us up. I'm going to go cash with the coach. Now, we've got 2 tournament plays and a nationality play, as we call it, at the Memorial. This is one of my favorite tournaments of the entire year. It's Jack's tournament. His wife is going to be the special honoree. It's year number 50, and this is a signature event. I'll be on the call on ESPN Plus tomorrow. Now, my first play, I'm going to go Justin Thomas, top American at plus 1,100. Now, you guys know the names, the Scotty Schefflers, the Jordan Spieth, all of that. I love this number. JT has won in the last 6 weeks. Scotty Scheffler, T4 last week, but he could not make a putt. I think JT comes in. You remember a few years ago during COVID at this particular tournament, at this particular golf course, they had 2 tournaments in a row, and he lost in a playoff against Colin Morikawa. JT loves this course. I think he's a top American at plus 1100. Then I got two tournament matchups for you. Denny McCarthy minus 115 over Sun JM. Denny McCarthy a couple of years ago, he lost in a playoff here. He almost won this tournament, and I know it still sits in his craw. He's highly motivated, and we're only laying 3 nickels. And then I love Siwoo Kim plus 105. This guy, he just had a monumental hole-in-one at the PGA Championship. He's playing really good golf. Daniel Berger also is, but I think Siwoo Kim has a really good week this week, and those are my 3 plays. Now, Big Tommy C, coming over to you. What do you got?
I'm jumping on game 5 tonight, boy. SGA, I'm taking him 35 plus points, plus 125. Big Tommy C note here. SGA has scored 31 points or more in the last 8 home games against the Timberwolves. My other play is Anthony Edwards, 27 points plus, minus 125. Another big note for Anthony Edwards here is that he has scored 27 points in the last 7 playoff games with a possible elimination. So I expect this to be a high-scoring game. These 2 superstars to show up tonight, fellas.
Yeah, he's going to be shooting every single time he touches the ball tonight. I mean, he's going to be the end of the season if he doesn't. We'll talk more about these props and these numbers, but Tommy, SGA at least 35 tonight.
Yeah,
You feel that
he
good
wants to
about
put
him?
the nail in the coffin. He wants.
Ooh, boy, I love me a little Tommy C nuggets too. I love those. Or fun fact. What are they? Fun facts, right, Tommy?
Fun fact.
Fun facts. All right, now you guys know that this man's ego is completely out of control. Now today he's coming in with the jacket on. He's got the glass on top of the head, slick back, feeling pretty good about himself because I got a tweet and also I saw somebody in the chat, Mark, that said I used all of JTS's numbers and I swept the board. How good is the model doing right now, sir?
Coach, it's everything is firing on all cylinders. The model's hitting. The cappers are hitting. I went 11-4 yesterday. Robbie swept the board in all his NHL plays. DG is lighting it up on the NBA plays that he has. It's across the board. I can't tell you. If you have not joined, you're doing your bankroll a disservice.
A completely disservice. That is right. All right. So what is our JTS play of the day today, sir?
Speaking of hot, we're riding a heater here with these. We're going now for 4 straight play of the days. We're coming back with a plus 121. We're going to start with Oklahoma City's Kason Wallace to get at least 1 3-pointer. The Thunder sharpshooters quietly hit this 5 of his last 6 games, and he's even sharper at home, where he's also hit it 5 of his 6 against the Wolves, averaging 1.23 threes per game. And then we're going to go to the diamond. We're going to take Athletics, Miguel Andujar to get at least 1 hit. And ours is one of baseball's hottest bats right now, quietly riding a 13-game hitting streak. He's recorded a hit in 18 of his last 20. Put them both together for plus 121, just Stat Sports Play of the Day.
And you guys know what time it is. There is a QR code. Download that. Use our code BTT30. And we're going to give you 30 days for free. 30 days for free. Try the cappers, red hot. Try the edges, red hot. Algorithms, whatever you want. Be a part of what we're doing. And the 30 days for free, then you're playing with house money. Listen to Nonsense McGee. He says, what a freaking day yesterday. Turned 14 units into 24. Went all in on JTS picks and the teams. Some of mine even, let's run it back. That's what I'm talking about. Mark, could you have ever imagined in 15 seconds that JTS in just 3 short months would be where it is right now thanks to me?
Coach, I pinch myself every morning I wake up and I see the numbers. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This is, I know I'm going to wake up at some point, but for right now, hell yeah, I'm in for the ride.
We're just getting started, baby. We're just getting started. We're heading towards 100,000 members in the next 3 to 5 years. Let's go. All right, gentlemen, you guys know what day it is. It is Wednesday. It is Rant Wednesday. It's an F day on the other side. What are my guys ranting on? I have a feeling Tommy's getting a little bit sick of those Knicks fans. I've got something in my back pocket. Also, we're talking the Timberwolves and the Thunder, bottom of the hour. We're just getting started. It's Coach and Company Live, as always, right here on Stadium. All right, you degenerates out there. I am the coach. We continue on here on our YouTube page. A big tournament that I'm calling this week, Raphael, and it's Jack's tournament. And I was a little bit surprised yesterday. Roy McIlroy is not playing this week. He normally does. This is a signature event, $4 million, a 3.6 to the winner. But Jack did not elaborate, but he said Roy McIlroy did not call him to tell him that he wasn't going to play in this event, and he seems kind of ticked off about it. Did Rory owe Jack a call?
Well, if I was Jack, maybe check your text messages because people text more than call. Maybe he texted him, but at the same time, you gotta call Jack for. I'm gonna be late. I'm not gonna play. I'm sick. You gotta call Jack. But maybe Rory text him.
Tommy, I don't know what's going on right now, but whenever Jack doesn't answer the question, he's a very thoughtful guy. He didn't answer the question, which tells me he's pissed that Rory didn't call him. Did he owe him a call?
Oh, absolutely. That's a lack of respect. Do they know who this guy is? It's just unbelievable, right? That's a lack of respect on Rory's part. I'm sorry. You pay respect to the guys that paved the way for you, man.
All these, we're not saying you have to go play in the event.
Right.
We're saying,
Right.
but you have to call and tell them you're not going to play an event. Because on top of this, oh no, Seabass, I see that face right now. Seabass, your answer to this is what?
No, he should have gave him a call, man. He's just stuck in his green jacket. He can't find his phone. It's a new jacket. He doesn't know where the pockets are yet. He just got that thing. He's like, yeah, you got to give Jack a call, man. It's his tournament that you play in every year. You got to give him a call.
And on top of that, guys, it's the 50th. Guess who's the honoree? Guess who's the honoree this year? Jack's wife, Barbara. So Jack is in, and he should be. He's in his feelings. Who knows how many more of these he's going to get to be at? You never know when you get to be 80 and above. You just never know. And to not give him a call, I agree with you guys because I love Rory as much as the next guy. But pick up the phone. This happened years ago before he played in the API because he didn't understand how big it was when it was Arnie's tournament. And now this is the headline. Instead of, hey, picked it up. Hey, I'm tired. Whatever it is, just give him a call. We're back live in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I am the coach. This is Coach and Company live on Stadium. I'm being a little subdued today because I'm trying to be respectful of those that are in the rooms next to us. It's still a little bit early out here in Florida, but you know who was never quiet? Do you know who never just kind of dialed it back? That was our man, Howie Schwab. And every single Wednesday, this is my favorite show of the entire week, and it's not close because I give my guys and myself the opportunity to just let things off their chest. And we do it right now because sometimes every day can be an F day.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to the first F day. Welcome to the first F day. Pardon me.
Oh my God, how much do we miss good old Howie Schwab? Now, last night, I don't know if you guys saw it, and we're not going to play it back here, but Pat McAfee is everywhere. But his home base, Tommy, is in Indianapolis. He played for the Colts. He was the highest paid punter at one time. And last night they handed him a microphone, and he said, "We got a ton of Knicks fans in the house. Ben Stiller, Spike Lee, Timothy Chalamet. Let's send them back to New York City with a loss." But Tommy, those 3 Knicks fans are not the only Knicks fans that have become, what's the word? Maybe I'll let you take it. What are you ranting on today?
Coach, I'm a New York fan. I'm a Yankee. I'm a Giant fan, but I'm not a Knick fan. And these obnoxious Knick fans calling up WFAN, telling after they beat the Boston Celtics, we're gonna beat the Pacers in 5 because we got dogs, dude. We got dogs. You do have dogs. Can somebody tell me when OG and Bridges play 2 games in a row that are great? Because they're sorry and they're terrible. And these fans are unstoppable with this team. They still think this team is going to win a championship. We're going to beat them in 5. We're going to do this. We saw Spike Lee last night. He looked like a clown. That guy, Timmy guy with the Bob Dylan movie, he's more popular now on the Knicks broadcast than anything else. And Ben Stiller is Ben Stiller. It's just I'm tired of it. And here's a message to the Indiana Pacers. Do me a favor. End this in the world's most famous arena so the Knicks fans could fry on WFAN. Please fire Tibbs or give me more dogs. You're done, Knicks fans. You're all done. See you later. Bye.
I love when you get fired up, big boy. I love when you get fired up. As did Pat McAfee last night. And I should have not underestimated producer man in the slightest. Roll tape.
Indianapolis, Indiana. We got some big wigs from the big city in the building. Spike Lee is here. Ben Stiller is here. Timothy Chalamet is here. Let's send these sons of bitches back to New York with their ears ringing. Let's turn this shit on!
Is there anything this man will not say or do? By the way, Tommy, I know you're not a Gen Z, but Timothy Chalamet is famous for a lot of things.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. He also dates a Kardashian.
Yeah.
So tip of the cap. Tip of the cap. All right, Tommy, great start. Great start. Now, last night, as we all were watching the I guess the start of the Knicks game, and we were all enjoying it at our respective homes. One of us was not. Raphael, what are you ranting on today?
Yeah, a normal Tuesday night, I was ready. TV 1, Knicks Pacers. TV 2 in my office, Stars Oilers. TV 3, Rockies Cubs. Cubs needed extra innings to win. Give me a break. But no, I wasn't in my office. You know where I was at? At an 8th grade graduation. Not a high school, not a college, 8th grade. And I'm sitting there trying to find a TV, seeing the sports in the guy's house. And the one TV that they have has a rotating pictures of school pictures of the kids from 1st grade all the way to 8th grade. Not the game, not the Oilers game, not the Pacers games, nothing. I had to listen to a whole bunch of kids scream. 8th grade, what are you graduating for 8th grade? That's like having a kindergarten graduation class. Give me a break with all these graduations. You should only have 2, high school, college. That is it.
God, I hope your friends that were putting on said graduation are not watching right now. My goodness, what kind of a friend are you? I'm embarrassed for you, Ref. Embarrassed for you, I say. Oh, look at him still fired up this morning. All right.
Missed the first quarter total over because I forgot to bet it before I left, and I missed it.
That's right, 56.5. That was one of the bets we hit with Soupy. That's one of the bets we hit with Soupy.
I didn't have it. I was eating chicken tenders.
Now, I will say we have a brand new thread with all the talent on the show and the people on the show, and it's very entertaining at times. But then there's always this underlying theme when it comes to our WNBA topics that always comes back around to one player. Seabass, what are you ranting on today?
Well, Coach, I want to start off by congratulating Angel Reese on becoming the fastest player ever to reach 500 points and 500 rebounds in their career. That's done in less than 2 seasons, so good for her on doing that. But the point of this is, why do we have to tear down a player to build up another one? And this isn't just about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. This goes across the board. However, Caitlin Clark did set the record for most turnovers in a season, but we don't want to talk about that. But if you have to build or trash another player to build up your argument for your player, your argument is already null and void. Get over it. Just appreciate what people do. I don't see anybody talking trash about Dennis Rodman. That guy didn't score points either. But Angel Reese does have a higher 3-point percentage than Caitlin Clark right now. Just putting it out there. Let the women play. Let the men play. Just enjoy the game.
Robbie Hockey from Weekday Wagers says it best in the chat. I wish I loved something as much as Seabass loves Angel Reese.
That's funny.
Truer words have never been spoken. Now, it's funny that you say, why do we need to tear somebody down in order to build somebody else up? Because let me say this. I love Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor used to be partners with Z-Man at their station in Miami. Nothing but respect. But when somebody makes a mistake this big, I've got to comment on it. So here is Joy Taylor on her show yesterday with 2 former NFL players, I might add, talking about why Aaron Rodgers, as apparently the new signing of the Pittsburgh Steelers, is not showing up to OTAs. Producer man, roll tape, please.
Why? Why? This is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have 6 Lombardies. They're coached by
a
first
quarterback.
ballot Hall of Fame Mike Tomlin.
They don't have a
never
quarterback.
had a losing
They don't have a
season.
quarterback.
And we're sitting around talking about Aaron Rodgers is not there on the first day of OTAs. Mandatory or not, where's your pride? Where's your dignity?
That's why I say I'm going to give him another day.
Where's your respect for the game? Where's your respect for this organization? Where's this organization's respect for the history that they have in this league? What are we talking about? He's never played there before. He doesn't know any of these teammates. He doesn't know the streets to get to the facility. He doesn't know the doctors. He doesn't know the rehab crew. He doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know where to get his smoothies.
All right, I've got to stop with the embarrassment. There were several things she said in there that I would like to. Where's the pride? I wonder how Joy is feeling this morning. Where's the dignity? I wonder how Joy is feeling this morning. What are we talking about? She says. I would ask the same thing, because as Keyshawn Johnson, and I can't remember the other person in that video, we're sitting there listening to Joy Taylor, who's been doing sports radio and sports television for a very long time. I think just kind of overlooked the fact that Aaron Rodgers is not on this football team. He's not signed to a contract. He's not supposed to be there. He is not a Pittsburgh Steeler. So why would he show up to OTAs? To talk on the sidelines? To sign autographs with fans outside of the building because he can't get back on the practice field? Because once again, Joy, he's not on the team. He doesn't have a contract. And even your own producers, did you see the bottom? As the Steelers drama, Kirk Cousins on the radar. At no point did they even put on that lower third Aaron Rodgers a no-show at OTAs. Because I will repeat myself one more time. Aaron Rodgers is not a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Gentlemen, and Seabass, I'll start with you. I don't know that there's ever been a quarterback that showed up voluntarily to just practice with a team that I don't know he's not a part of.
Yeah, no, I don't know that that's ever happened. And quarterbacks will be the ones that don't ever want to go to OTAs and offseason anyway. I mean, they try everything that they can do to get out of them, even if it's their first day on the new team trying to find the smoothie in the facility.
I did have a smoothie yesterday, by the way. It was delicious at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. Tommy, have you ever seen such – it's not even an egregious mistake because it's just you're talking on a May talk show. But the fact that nobody you're a former producer. How did this get through all the way to the show and nobody stopped her?
I put all the heat on the production, on the producer. There's no production meeting. All right, this is what we're going to talk about today, guys. This, and this. Where does it come about Aaron Rodgers? He is not signed. Matter of fact, yesterday on ESPN, they said he's probably not going to sign until after OTAs with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're estimating that. They're not saying he's going to do it. And she's out there yelling this. The producer should be fired. And Keyshawn Johnson, he should know better than that.
Don't need anything.
He should know better than that anyway. It's just ridiculous. No production meeting? Oh, my God, Coach.
I'm going to piggyback on that one. I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Please.
They knew what they were doing. They were trying to have NFL ratings because there's nothing else to talk about the NFL and what needs to be full front. The NFL, not the NBA playoffs, not the NHL playoffs, not Ohtani hitting another home run. Let's force feed the media more NFL talk. They knew he wasn't signed, but they need to have the NFL up in the front.
It makes absolutely no sense. Why would they do a discussion when it's a mistake?
Because we're talking about the NFL. It doesn't matter.
Hey, so will I. I'll do the NFL every single day. There is never a wrong time to do the NFL. There is a wrong time to do a wrong topic in the NFL, however, and this was just a mistake. But we do NFL all year round. In fact, we're going to do it in, 17 minutes from right now. So there you go, Raphael.
Great.
Man, Tommy, we're going to have Raphael and Seabass on the show at the same time. It's like ping, 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 ping. All right. Still to come, we are only halfway home here on Coach and Company. On the other side, will the Oklahoma City Thunder get it done and head to the NBA Finals? And can the Knicks stave off elimination tomorrow at New York City? And what is Terry Bradshaw talking about? It's Coach and Company live, as always, right here on the Stadium Network. Somebody explain to me how every time I come to this hotel and I do this show, at this exact time that I could put something on the door and they will still knock on it and open it to ask if I need service. At 10:30,
when you're an A-lister, they're going to see if you need anything.
Right?
You know what?
An autograph, maybe a selfie. I go through it all the time. It's terrible. It happens. Sleep.
See, I mean, Seabass, you and I live in this world every single day. I mean, what can you do? I mean, they're like fans standing outside just waiting for you to walk to your car in the villas. There's literally
we don't even need to hang anything on our doors. They don't bother.
No, they don't come by.
I was going to try and do the show, Tommy, outside today, and it was like 95 degrees, and we're in Florida, and it's May 28th. But there's a sign right on the grass outside my window. It says, "Be careful, snakes and alligators do live here." I moved all my equipment back inside, and I said, "I'll deal with it." Yeah. Can you imagine being in the middle of the show and an alligator just walks up and says, "What's going on?"
Not good. Not good. You're going to be somebody's breakfast buddy.
Happy Gilmore 3.
Oh my
god! Got a championship ring on or something.
That's so true. Speaking of that, Seabass, kind of WNBA theme today, Paige Beckers. She lost her first 4 games at a pro, goes back to Connecticut for the first time. And the Wings, the Dallas Wings, she scored 21. They win last night. Got to give her props.
Oh, I love Paige. I might like her more than Angel Reese, actually. I think she's a better player than Caitlin Clark. She's awesome. I love watching her play.
Really cold up in here. I feel like hell just froze over real quick. Anybody else get that?
This is the problem right here. Is you guys think that I'm just narrow-minded no, I'm appreciative of all things.
Need I go back to the thread, Raphael? Need I go back?
I think but the number one thing that shocked me yesterday, everyone knew she was coming back to Connecticut. Everyone knew Dallas hasn't won a game. Why didn't the number move? I took the 4. It only moved a half a point. I thought for sure this one was going to close closer to 6, but she had.
We're back live in 5. Look at your clock in 3 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Coach and Company live here on the Stadium Network. We're halfway home. It is a glorious Wednesday coming up in 24 hours. It's the Memorial. That's why we are on the road. Now, NBA playoffs, they've been really good. A lot of good storylines, but also a lot of blind movement. And that's why I've got my guy, Raphael. Let's bring him on right now before we get to the full games. Because, Raphael, I know there's a lot of line movement going on even 8-9 hours before the game tonight.
Yeah, this is telling me, especially with all the Minnesota Timberwolves players, that they think this game is going to go under because they're betting a lot of the Timberwolves games prop bets under. But SGA, this one's crazy to me. His total points, rebounds, and assists opened up at 43.5. It's now 45.5. This should have been open. I mean, this should have closed around that number. I can't believe it 45.5 and it's got bet down. I don't understand why. Even though he's only hit this number 7 out of 9, this is telling me that he might be sitting on the bench because they're up double digits. I think that's why they're betting it under.
See, that's the thing is we've seen so many blowouts in the playoffs that it's really at times curtailed in overplay on whether it's Brunson or whether it's SGA. You really want a tight game, don't you? Do you think these will move? And I encourage people to watch weekday wagers later today at 2 p.m. Eastern time for any of that line movement. Do you think some of these will move up or would you see them moving down?
I think they're moving down. Julius Randle is probably the most puzzled one. His total points opened up at 16.5, and it's now to 17.5. But the 3 games in the series, his total points was 19.5. He's had some duds in this series. I think the bettors are finally realized that maybe he's just MIA in this playoff series.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Anthony Edwards, by the way, only 16 points in his last game tonight. You saw Tommy thinks he's going to score a lot, 27 or more over there at BetMGM, or shop around also at DraftKings as well. All right, we got to talk about these 2 games. We got to bring all the guys back. It is time to hoop it up. All right, before we talk about tomorrow's game, Tommy, I got to come back to you because you live in the New York City area. You're only 40-minute train ride from Grand Central Station. But last night, it was what was going on in Indiana. Not only were the celebrities there that we just saw from Pat McAfee, but also one of our old bosses, so to speak, Triple H, was there. Nick Khan, the president of the WWE, was there. So apparently they have time to travel to Indiana on the PJ, as we like to call it, the private jet.
Yeah.
And now the Knicks are going to go back home up 3-1. The fan going crazy and everybody else going crazy for the Pacers. Did that surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me, and I don't even think Triple H knew why he was there. I mean, was he watching the game or what, or just wanted to be shot on camera? Because I don't think he knows the first thing about basketball. But there's a reason why Halliburton's in the video game. There's a connection to money, to everything, Coach. That's the reason why he was there. I think the Pacers just have, the Pacers are a really good team, and people don't know that. They have so many dogs on that team that they can almost go 10 deep, and the Knicks can only go 7. And that's the problem with this series. There's not enough good players on the Knicks to carry them. And OG is very unsteady, and so is Bridges. They can't have 2 games in a row that are good, Coach, and that's the problem with the Knicks.
It feels like the team is a team with Indiana. With the Knicks, they're fighting on the bench, Seabass. They're yelling at each other. If Jalen Brunson isn't hitting that 15-footer, they don't really get into a rhythm. Cat is getting made fun of by everybody. By the way, what's this video going around? Did he do an interview where he spouted off about a few things? Have you guys seen this? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I got to look it up. They did this thing, imitating the cat, they call it. It's on Instagram. So, and then anyway, I'll find it. We'll play it on the show tomorrow. But Seabass, right now, have you ever seen a team kind of come out of nowhere like Indiana did in February? They were the best team in the Eastern Conference, and now they're showing it one game away from going to the NBA Finals, but yet they're getting 4.5 in game number 5.
It's tough to go into New York and play, and everyone is expecting the Knicks, who knocked off the Celtics, to make a run here. They're waiting for that Knicks team to show up. Now, I had I'm not going to say it's a bad take. It was my take at the time, and I said the NBA playoffs were trash, and it was a terrible product because of all these 20-point blown leads and everything. But what I will say, this series between the Pacers and Knicks, it's been a great series. Even though it's 3-1, it's been a fun series to watch. Both of these teams are battling tough. I do hope the Knicks win tonight just so I can get more of this series. I like the way it's going, but the Knicks they go the way of Jalen Brunson. If he's not getting it done, everyone else seems to falter. There's no backup guy to pick up the pace or pick up the slack. And if you can't expect your superstar to have a great game every game, we want them to. You got to have that backup guy who's going to step up as well, and they just don't have it right now.
I will remind you guys that one of our newest cappers here at Coach and Company, Baby Coach, you guys may have heard of him. He actually predicted the Pacers to win this game. And if you've watched the video, and we're not going to play it back right now, but he even predicted the series to end in New York City. That's how next level Raphael Baby Coach is. Are you surprised?
Not really. I'm actually shocked that BetMGM has 4.5. Go over there and grab it now because everyone else has 5. And there's even one 5.5 that's out there. So for MGM, 4.5, hurry up, bet it now while I'm speaking. But I just think the Pacers are just overall a better team. Now, I'm just worried about what's the fans going to do when it's OKC Pacers. On paper, that's a very bad series because of 2 small markets. But if you kind of look at it and dissect it, what a series that's going to be with OKC and their deep team and the Pacers and their deep team. I can't wait to watch that NBA Finals.
Oh, it's going to be a great series, but it's going to be a very low-rated series because it's just going to be the hardcore guys. Tommy, are you surprised that the NBA and the Pacers let Halliburton's dad back in the building last night for game number 4?
No, I'm not. I mean, he spent enough time out. I think that it was time for him to let him back in. They're not letting him on the court, that's for sure. They put him up in the suite so he can't cause any damage or walk up to any Knicks or hit Spike Lee in the head or do something. So they got him up in the suite where they probably got 10 security guards around him or something.
Exactly what I said to do. Yeah, put him up there.
And how about the firefighter too, guys? The firefighter that they flew in for game number 4 that all the Knicks fans, speaking of trash, threw that bag of trash on his head a little while ago. He had like a hero's welcome. He gets off the plane. The firefighters are there. I mean, this was amazing. That's how you treat a firefighter and a first responder. Now, let's flip it over to tonight's game. Game number 5. Will the Thunder get it done at home in front of the fans? Will SGA take his MVP trophy to the NBA Finals? So, Seabass, I want to start with you because this has been a series outside of their 42-point blowout in game number 4. This has been all about the Thunder. They win by 2, 128-126. Is tonight a high-scoring game, or do we get back to that kind of lock-it-in, possession by possession kind of game?
I think it's the latter, possession by possession game here. I don't think we're going to see high scoring. I don't know what's happened to Minnesota from that Lakers series to this series, but I don't know where they went. I don't know where Anthony Edwards is. I don't know where Rudy Gobert is. I don't know where Julius. I don't know where any of these guys are in this series. And Oklahoma City is just running away with this. I think it's over once they get to game whatever 5-4, whatever 5. No, they won one game, but I just don't know where that Minnesota team has gone. But then I have to remember they were a 6th seed. They were a 6th seed. They were knocking off a 3 over there in LA. But I like OKC here.
Yeah, they had kind of an easy road, as it were, Raphael. They have the Lakers, who were not as good as people thought they were. Then they get Golden State without Steph Curry, and now they run into an absolute buzzsaw. And it doesn't seem like to me, Raphael, that Minnesota is a team like Indiana or like the Knicks, that if they get down by a lot, they're going to be able to come back. So tonight, if the Thunder can punch them in the mouth right from the start of the game, this thing could be over in the second quarter.
It could, but I mean, Minnesota has a good offense. But I'm gonna give you 2 words that's why the Timberwolves are struggling. Dortcher Chamber. Lou Dort has just been dominating Ant-Man. I mean, Ant-Man can't get away from him. His defense and the team defense of OKC is the big difference why the Timberwolves offense is not even close to what we saw versus LA. So if Lou Dort does what he did his last game against Ant-Man, this game is going to be very ugly. We could see a 138-103 type of game.
Tommy, what are they saying about the Thunder team there in New York on the Fan?
They respect them. They think they think they're one of the best teams in the NBA. And when the Knicks take them, I think the Knicks are going to try to play them down and play hard defense. That's what they're saying on the Fan. But unfortunately, the Knicks are not going to play them. It's going to be the Pacers. And boy, I got to tell you, SGA is one of the smoothest characters I've ever seen come on the court. This guy doesn't miss. Nothing affects him. He's on the foul line. He could shoot from anywhere, and he's got a lot of dogs with him, man. That team is just unbelievable, and they are really, really good.
But you look at the numbers, Seabass, and that's obviously what a sports bettor cares about. If T-Wolves lose tonight but lose by 4, there's going to be a lot of people that are happy. Do you think this number, which has hovered around 8.5 or 9 for the entire series, and then when they went on the road, it was like 5 to 5.5, but they've always been the favorite. I think they had one game that was at 3. Is this 8.5 too high, Seabass?
I don't think it is tonight. I think the defense from Oklahoma City really can let their offense pull away against Minnesota. I don't think the number's too high at all. I think it's probably right where it should be.
Do you think, Raphael, that by the time we get to tip-off tonight, which I believe is 8:30 Eastern time, will it be higher than 8.5, or will it be lower than 8.5, in your humble opinion?
I don't think we'll see 9. I think it's going to be floating around between 8 and 8.5. I see the total maybe going back down to maybe 219.5. I think the bettors are going to think, hey, this game's going to be defense because of what OKC is going to do at home court.
Tommy, I'll give you the last comment on this one tonight as far as the total, because you're pretty good at saying it's going to be a high-scoring game or low-scoring game. Do you think it's a high pace, or do you agree with Seabass and maybe possession by possession?
I think it's going to be possession by possession, but I think it's going to be high paced also. Excuse me. Edwards has to keep up. He has to have a monster game in order to stay in this, and Randall has to have a monster game in order not to get eliminated tonight. I think they have to run the gun with them, go right head to head with them. I think Edwards knows he has to really show up tonight to go against SGA and the boys.
Yeah, I think it's the only way that they can win. I think it's the only way that Minnesota can win is if they speed this thing up, because Indiana did it against New York, and look what happened. They beat the Knicks. You cannot play muscle for muscle against Oklahoma City. They're too big. They're too strong for Minnesota and the team that they can put on that court right now. All right, still to come on the other side of the break. What is Terry Bradshaw spouting off about when it comes to his former team, the Pittsburgh Steelers? Well, we're going to tell you. Also, if you weren't here at the top of the hour, that's okay. Don't tell anybody. The lines move. That's why we have Raphael. We're going to lock everything in because today's a bounce back F day rant Wednesday. Where else? Coaching Company right here live on Stadium. All right, Seabass, your SEC conference is causing all kinds of issues. They're saying they're going to break away from the NCAA. Now, word comes out yesterday that they are pushing for a 16-team playoff in college football in the next couple of years, and they want to go to well, it's very, very confusing. Are you surprised that your conference is starting to bully people a little bit?
No, that's what we do. That's why we win championships. We bully everyone. Listen. I haven't heard that they want to leave the NCAA, but I think it's great. I think it's great. They'll probably get more revenue from just the SEC, right? They got so many teams in there to have their own conference league, whatever you want to call it, separate, make their own rules. All the money stays there. They'll be the true champions of all sports. All sports.
I do think at some point there will be like a super conference where everybody, all the big teams and conferences are on one big thing. Raphael, this whole 5+11 thing that we read about yesterday on ESPN.com, do you think that will come to fruition?
I think that will come true before I think the SEC just eliminates themselves in the NCAA, because they need another conference if they want to eliminate themselves. But I like the new format that they're talking about. It gives them a little bit more control, because last time I checked, they didn't win in football. So this new format helps the SEC get more teams. So yeah, that's a good format.
I do like the fact that they've decided they're going to go straight on seeding this year, so you won't have some team that deserves to have to play that extra game. But Tommy, if they do 5 and 11, it'd be 5 automatic bids, and then the 11 would be at larges, which would obviously probably lean into the SEC getting 5 or 6 teams potentially every year in the college football playoff.
Boy, they're a juggernaut, aren't they? I mean, for them to want to break off from the NCAA and start their own conference and everything, they are a juggernaut. And you know what? I'm with Seabass on this, man. I think 1 million people would be over there to watch them play. And yes, they would get most of the bids in this whole deal right now.
All right, we're back live in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It is Coach and Company here live on the Stadium Network, rolling through an F-Day Rant Wednesday. Having a good time so far. Do not forget, later today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, the Coach and Bro Show launches on Stadium as well. All right, let me bring the guys back on, because Terry Bradshaw was doing an interview, the former Steelers great, 4 Super Bowl championships, gentlemen, when he played for the Steel Curtain. And he was asking about Aaron Rodgers, and he was asking about the Steelers, waiting to see what this man is going to do. So, Raphael, let me start with you, because he crushed the Steelers. He said, let me look at my notes. That guy needs to stay in California, go somewhere and chew on bark, and whisper to the gods out there. The Steelers have been a failure also for handling Kenny Pickett, who's now at the Browns, incorrectly. A lot of opinions coming from Mr. Bradshaw.
I don't know about failure with Kenny Pickett, maybe with Justin Fields last year, but he's halfway right and halfway wrong. But if you're going to make fun of Aaron Rodgers, that means you need to be full control. Okay, Mason Rudolph is my man. And he didn't even mention Mason Rudolph in his rant. So he's half right and half wrong.
Seabass, if we go into a season where Mason Rudolph is the guy that you've set back for 5 months to wait on Aaron Rodgers to make a decision, and you're one of the OGs, you're one of the 3 franchises to me with the Packers and the Cowboys, and this is what you're doing, if I'm a player for the Steelers, how pissed am I?
I think they got to be really pissed off here. This is not typical Steelers and their organization and what they do. They've always been above. I think this attitude that they are better. People want to come play there.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make our decisions. If you want to be here, we'll pick you up later, whatever. But they've never waited on anybody that I can think of in their history. It's always been, here's the decision. Here's what we're going with. We're going to play Pittsburgh Steeler football, and it works out. So Terry Bradshaw, I think he's got a great point. Clearly, he watched the Aaron Rodgers documentary too.
Oh my God! By the way, public service announcement. Don't waste your time on the Brett Favre one. I watched it on the plane yesterday. It's awful. One of the worst documentaries of all time, I might add. Tommy, real quick, they let Justin Fields walk out the door. They let Russell Wilson walk out the door. And now the whole narrative has been Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, they're waiting for Aaron Rodgers, right? And what's the Metcalf think about coming over there? And he's got Rudolph thrown to him in September. Not a good look. I'm surprised of the instability of Tomlin and the ownership there because they really, like Seabass is saying, they're pretty a tight knit group there. And for them to sit there and just wait for Rodgers and not do anything big in the draft at all is really confusing to me. I think the next step they have to do is maybe look for a trade to get Kirk Cousins.
You're exactly right. All right, we will leave it right there because you never know. Aaron Rodgers, who knows? He may sign today. You just never know. All right, we are approaching the end of the hour. We've got a lot of best bets, a lot of things going on. It's time to lock it in. All right, Seabass, start us off, big boy.
We're starting the WNBA tonight, and we're going to take the Indiana Fever second half team total over 40.5 points. The Mystics, they play just like the Wizards do. It doesn't matter what the score is at halftime. They're going to blow it in the second half and give up a ton of points anyway. So give me the Fever second half team total over 40.5. Then over in Major League Baseball, my favorite first 3 innings play, we're going to take the Detroit Tigers on that money line first 3 innings. Jackson Jobe on the mound, great ERA in those first 2 innings and at our first 3 innings and at home. And Landon Rope struggles a little bit on the road. That Detroit offense, pretty solid. Give me the Tigers first 3 money line.
All right. By the way, there is, when I say day baseball, I mean anything before 6:40. There is 6 games before 6 o'clock today, and then 9 games. So a full slate, day baseball and also evening baseball. All right, Big Tommy, what do we got?
I got SGA 35 plus points tonight, total points at plus 120. And I also got Anthony Edwards 27 plus total points, minus 125. High scoring game. I think SGA wants to end it. He wants to show Anthony Edwards who the king is tonight, and it's going to be SGA.
I think he's going to have a big night too, Tommy. That's a good gut. I like that plus 120. Raphael, talk to me.
Give me the Minnesota Timberwolves team total under 106.5 minus 120. Defense, and it's going to be all OKC tonight. I think Minnesota has a hard time scoring. And in baseball, give me the Reds Royals. Both teams have scored 3+ runs at plus 105. Royals last 6 games, they've hit this number 3 times. Bullpen is going to be effective for both teams. I think a lot of runs scoring this game.
All right, and Big Chuck sends in a play even when he's not on the show. Batiste and Chelsea, a little Europa Conference League. You can see that on Paramount Plus. Both teams to score a little juicy, but sometimes the juice can be worth the squeeze at minus 140. Then I have 3 plays from the Memorial for you, which starts tomorrow. I love Justin Thomas at plus 1,100 to be the top American. And I know he's got to beat Scotty Scheffler. He's got to beat Colin Morikawa. He's got to beat a lot of guys, but I like that number for JT in the nationality bets. Then 2 tournament plays, head-to-head matchups. Denny McCarthy almost won this tournament a couple of years ago. It would have been the biggest win of his entire career over Sungjae Im. I think he's motivated this week as well. And then Siwoo Kim played pretty good at the PGA Championship, plus 105 over Daniel Berger, who is back in form. But I think Siwoo is one of those guys that when he starts to play well, you want to back him for a few weeks until he starts to turn the other way. All right. My man Mark is back. What is our JTS play of the day, sir?
Coach, let's make this one 4 straight winners. We're going to go with Oklahoma City's Kason Wallace to get at least 1 3-pointer. He's done this in 5 of the last 6 games. He's also done it in 5 of the last 6 against the Wolves, where he's averaging 1.2 threes per game. We're going to pair that with Sacramento Athletics' Miguel Andujar to get at least 1 hit. He's riding a 13-game hitting streak. He's done this in 18 of his last 20 games. Put them both together for a plus 121. Just a Stat Sports play of the day.
And JTS is absolutely crushing it right now. We encourage you to become a partner just like we are and a member. There is a QR code. Use our code BTT30. We're going to give you 30 days for free. And then after that, you're going to be playing with house money, no questions asked. Just a couple of minutes left in the show. I want to remind you we're very, very proud of the fact that the Coach and Bro Show, one of our second of our three shows, launching today on the Stadium Network. And Tommy, about a year ago, we started The Last Word in BTT. We now have Coach and Bro. You're going to be doing the show tomorrow as well, so you're a big part of it. How cool is it that this show is now on national television, big boy?
It's just amazing what a difference a year makes, Coach. Of us, you starting BTT, coming to me, and see where I am today. I'm on camera here with my ugly face and trying to work hard here, but it's amazing how things grow in a year. And I'm here for the whole total run. And I love working with my man Vinny Russo, so we can get on you and being on vacation and playing golf and everything.
This week
Thank
it actually
you.
is golf. This week I actually am missing for golf. Raphael, you're part of our wrestling content. You're a big part of it. It's pretty cool that now we can really expand our reach.
Oh, it's fantastic. And Vinny, can't wait to watch the show when you're not on it, because boy, is it fun to listen to those two guys make fun of you. But I want to take a little leap and talk about your golf play. Justin Thomas, MGM just moved it to 12-1. ESPN Bet has it at 10-1. This is why I always tell you, shop around, shop around, shop around, get the best number.
I'm so glad you mentioned ESPN Bet, because I'll be hosting the ESPN Bet live stream tomorrow. 2 hours for the next 4 days. Quite the tease there, Raphael. Quite the tease. Me, America's Cat, Matt Every, who won the API twice, will be live tomorrow. That's why DG will be hosting the show. Look at Mark over there. Yeah, DG and your boy Weekday Wages and all that. Gentlemen, nice job today. Really nice job today. Producer man, you know what time it is. I got to keep today a little bit lower, though. We got some unhappy tenants here at the Marriott. But understand this. It's time for you to go out into the world, for you to pay it forward, for you to understand this is how this works. You got to do it together. And there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight where the Gators are, out the pay window. For my entire company, damn it, do I love them all. Marky Mark from JTS, Seabass, Big Tommy, Raphael, producer man. I am simply the coach trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you, so we're going to win with you. It's what we're all about every single day right here. This is Coach and Company, live on Stadium. Have a great day.